A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for?
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's gonna go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. You're looking pretty fit, though, I must say. A textbook reversal there.
How can Shawn Michaels keep calling himself the Heartbreak Kid? Does he really think he's still breaking hearts at his age?
King, I'm sorely tempted to say something about the pot and the kettle. But instead, I'll say that I think Shawn Michaels is like a fine wine. He's only improved with age.
You know, JR, everyone goes on and on about how great The Undertaker is, but I think he's overrated. It takes more than black lights and some dry ice to impress me.
How about a perfect record at WrestleMania, King? How about being a multiple-time WWE champion? Does that impress you?
Now, come on, JR. I'm not saying that the dead man doesn't have one or two impressive achievements to his name. I just think he's taken too seriously for a grown man who dresses like it's Halloween every day.
One or two? There's a reason they call him the Phenom, King. He's been one of the most dominant WWE superstars for his entire career. He came in at the top, and he stayed there ever since.
Well, The Undertaker might have had a pretty good ride, but I think it's only a matter of time before someone buries the dead man.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
Oh, no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. Look at Shawn Michaels. The future Hall of Famer has overcome so much adversity in his career. But the Heartbreak Kid's got more heart than anyone I've ever seen in this business.
You know, JR, HBK might be a living legend and all, but I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut and let his actions in the ring speak for him. He's never met a microphone he didn't like.
Michaels has impressed me more times than I can count, King. Even you have to admit that he's done a lot for this business.
Yeah, and the business has done a lot for him. Michaels tries to come off as a goody two-shoes, but when it comes right down to it, he's as much of an egotist as anyone else in the business. Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it? Is there any superstar in WWE who can go toe-to-toe with that man, The Undertaker? I don't think there is.
Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? There's no way The Undertaker's gonna win this match. Just look at him.
Oh, I am, King. I'm looking at one of the most awesome forces I've ever seen in a WWE ring. And I think the dead man's going to remind everyone tonight why they call him the Phenom.
So, how do you think this one's gonna turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat.
Is it just me, or does the dead man seem a little off tonight?
I don't know what match you're watching, King, but the dead man looks as good tonight as when he first appeared in the WWE.
I'm not sure if it's your eyes or your brain that shot JR, but that's ridiculous. The Undertaker should quit now, while he can still retire with some dignity. I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. These superstars are going to put each other through.
Oh, sure. Now the fans start to cheer for him. Now that he's in the driver's seat.
Come on, King. He's had the crowd behind him all match, and now it's paying off.
You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... No. Go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker.
His opponent telegraphed that one.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, Ken. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be out of a job. Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well.
This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar.
here's your winner, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.